Hello folks, Kaz here from blockheadUK. This MOC for Blockville's Ninjago District has been nearly 3 months in the making. I started the water level back in January and made a couple of shops separated by an ornate bridge over the canal which divides them. A water taxi and cargo boat are plying the waters while a little girl is feeding a Dalmatian who is roaming in the street. The two shops are Amy's Antiquarian Bookstore, which specialises in old and rare books, with Mr. Chang's grocery store for all your supplies on the other bank. With each Ninjago MOC I build, I want them to have fully decorated interiors, as I have loads of ideas for small builds and little stories. Let's have a look at some of the builds in more detail for each floor. There appears to be a familiar face hitching a ride in one of the fleet of Woo's water taxis. You've already seen one in the Arjetsu Market MOC video. Seems like Master Woo has his fingers in many pies in Ninjago. The cargo boat is built with inspiration from the two official boat builds from Ninjago City and the Docks sets. I have a feeling the captain of this vessel may be up to no good, as he looks a bit shifty. Inside the bookstore, proprietor Amy is arranging books in the piles on the tables and on the ornate antique bookcase which runs along the one wall. If we remove the bookcase briefly, we can get a better look inside and see the details of the bookcase itself, which has been built with snot technique to give the effect of lots of books on the shelves. Meanwhile, Mr. Chang appears to be upset about something. Perhaps someone's run away without paying for something. Some of the parts for this shop came from the market stall in the Ninjago City Chase set 70607, mainly the black awning above one doorway and some of the boxes of fish. I also built in shelves on one side with barrels of fruit below, with freestanding shelving on the opposite wall. Taking these out, you can see a little better what they contain. Let's put the next two floors onto the base and have a look at them. Above Chang's store is a power plant of some sort, with pipes and machinery chugging away. The establishment above the bookstore houses Master Woo's ninja supplies. You can see Dareth's Dojo's Sigfig climbing up the ladder to have a look. The big decorated panel behind the pipes comes from Emmett and Benny's Build and Fix workshop, set 70821. You may remember that I made a classic spaceship from some of the other parts, but none go to waste. This pod is quite industrial in nature and was built mostly from bits and pieces I had in my collection already. I'm slightly worried by the nuclear and explosion warning stickers at the entrance though. Inside there is intricate energy-producing gubbins with rods and levers. A mysterious hum emanates from the building. No one is quite sure what's actually in there. Master Woo has a tiny shop which stocks essential ninja supplies. It is very cramped, but ninjas are experts in making themselves fit into tiny spaces, so all is fine. The doorway has a hanging curtain, while indoors the walls are lined with swords, katana, shuriken and daggers, while a small counter in the middle is where the goods can be inspected. Next we move up to street level with 2 shops, an elevated walkway and colourful signage on the railings. The pink establishment is strawberry flavoured of course, and is Cornelius Cone's ice cream parlour. The 3D sign of Cornelius is from Unikitty's Sweetest Friends Ever set 70822, the perfect mascot to advertise the parlour to folks passing on the canal below. The other is a LEGO store, the Ninjago District branch, built with my own pieces and supplemented with the Minifig factory 5005358 and exclusive VIP set 40178. Let's take a closer look inside them. They both have a reasonable amount of room to work with, roughly 8 studs square, which gave me enough space to do a reasonably detailed interior. It looks like someone forgot to take with them the LEGO set they just bought. Who would that be? Ah, it's probably the lady who just couldn't wait to go and get a delicious ice cream from next door. This LEGO store branch has 2 employees who are looking after the pick-a-brick wall, lots of sets, Brickley the Dragon, models on display in the window, a classic red Rory, some cool gear and rare minifigs on the shelves. Meanwhile, in the ice cream parlour, there is room for 4 customers to sit and enjoy their dairy-based frozen treats. The floor is tiled with grey and white checkerboard pattern, and the counter has a super-duper ice cream dispensing machine. The blank white wall behind is a section I will probably replace with a single big panel piece, which I now have plenty of, so that I can add some ice cream related stickers when I find some. The final story on this build is that which gives the whole thing its name, Benny's Space Bar. I knew I wanted to make something with some of the old classic space windows and decided to design in LEGO Digital Designer first, as I knew I would have to head to Bricklink to get all the pieces I would need. I was finally happy with the design, but the pieces I had chosen were quite hard to find in the quantities I needed them. So several orders were placed, including 3 from Europe, from sellers in Sweden, Denmark and the Netherlands. Once the actual bricks arrived just over a week ago, I was able to finish building the top floor as I had envisioned it. On one side is Benny's Space Bar itself, owned by our favourite astronaut Benny, but run by his barman cousin Denny. There are plenty of bottles of the good stuff available from the well-stocked shelves, and 3 different real ales available on tap. When they're drunk enough they don't care anymore, the minifig punters head across the corridor to the club half of the building, where Lenny is king of the decks, and loud music is pumped out of the huge speaker stacks, both elements which came from the LEGO Movie 2 pop-up party bus set, 70828, and only needed a little bit of adaptation to fit the scene perfectly. The concave windows in the bar meant I gained a couple of studs of useful floor area for the seating, which left just enough room for the shelving and bar with cash register in front. Here you can see the builds in more detail. I placed Lenny's turntable rig on a small platform by the door, flanked with disco lights, and the rotating light cube from the party bus stands in the opposite corner. A couple of tipsy figs are enjoying a boogie on the dance floor. Here you can see the builds in more detail. The final topping out of the building gives it two separate roof pieces. Above the bar we have a 3D spaceship, Lowell Sphere planet with the classic red swoosh and Apocalypse Benny himself smiling from the roof. Above the club is the communications tower with a landing pad for small craft on the platform on top. Many of these pieces are recognisably from the Benny Space Squad set 70841. I hope you've enjoyed this comprehensive tour of this Ninjago District MOC as much as I have building it. Watch out for future videos coming soon. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel so you can see new content when it is released.